Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Today, I want to talk to you about the biggest creditor your estate will face. Before I get to that though, I want to remind you, if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate, and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. Okay, so I may have talked about this a long time ago, but I am, and I'm going to go in more depth on this in other videos. I'm going to put them all together, I think, eventually. I'm reading this, or I'm listening to this book. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to this book right now about the Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilts are, if you know Vanderbilt University, they were one of the sort of like a tycoon families, like in the early 1900s. Cornelius Vanderbilt was a shipping magnate, a ship, like an ocean, like a water shipping magnate, and then he utilized the wealth that he built there to get into railroads, and he became like the richest person in the world. And when he died, he was worth about $100 million, which in today's money is like, I don't know, like $100 billion, not exactly, but close enough. And what's funny is by the time I think the third or the fourth generation got around, there were no Vanderbilts that had over $1 million to their name. And part of the reason that happened was because of terrible estate planning. And some of the things that were allowed to happen inside of those estate plans over time. So I wanted to talk about one of those, the biggest creditor to estate planning for them. It happened, the biggest creditor probably for all of us, particularly down the road as we get further along in life if you don't plan well. And that is, drum roll please, divorce, okay? Not your divorce necessarily, although that will set your own personal estate back. We're really talking about the divorce of your children after you are gone. That is the biggest creditor to your estate if you're not planning it correctly. So I'll walk you through two scenarios, one the wrong way to do it and one the right way to do it so you can see what I mean. So let's say, you have let's say $10 million in your estate and you have one child, okay? We're just gonna make this super simple. You die and you give everything to your child via a will, okay? So everything's put into your child's name, your kid's name, and everybody goes along just happy as can be. Down the road, your kid gets married. And because your kid is in love and because, the spouse is persuasive, they take those inherited assets, put them all into a joint bank account, and start buying stuff together, expecting to live happily ever after. Little did we know, the spouse is crazy, and they end up getting divorced over time. Because they have put that money into a joint account and been using it for joint things, there is an argument, okay, maybe not all the way, but that a significant amount of those assets are going to be split equally amongst the two of them when they get divorced. Okay. Now, depending on when this happens, how many children they have, what the spouse wants to do, you have literally just been cut in half from the amount of assets that are available to your family, to your what's what I'm looking for, lineage. Okay, that's one way to do it. Now, let's say you have created a revocable trust. Okay. And instead of giving your kid that $10 million outright, you put it into trust for them and you allow for discretionary distributions. You allow for other distributions as long as those assets are requested out, okay? And you teach your child about the benefits of these types of trusts and their asset protection qualities after you are gone, okay? You're gone, the money's in trust for your kid. Kid gets married, spouse is crazy, they get divorced. All of the assets that are in that trust are then untouchable in the divorce. They stay with your family, they stay with your kid, they go pass down from generation to generation in the way that you'd like, and everything is hunky-dory. All right, so we can't always protect against divorce, but it is something that you can at least create some foundational fallback mechanisms, stop gaps, safety mechanisms in place to help ensure that when you are gone, your assets are not divided up and given to somebody that you may not even know. Certainly that you don't want to have your assets in the future, okay? So think about that as you are creating your estate plan, as you're drafting your estate plan. There are a few different things that you can do. Those are the two main ways that they happen though. Way number one is not so great. Way number two is significantly better. And you need to be aware of that no matter how smart you think your kid is, how great the relationship is. It's prudent to protect against it. If everything goes well, then you don't have anything to worry about. They're going to live happily ever after, and your assets are going to help them maintain that happiness. If they don't live happily ever after, then, you've taken care of business. All right, so that's it. Hopefully that made sense. If it did, hit the like button. If you know somebody needs to hear this, please share it with them. If you have a question or comment, leave it. I will answer it. And if you want to talk about anything else related to estate planning or probate, and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. All right, that is it. As always, I am Christopher Small. I am the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning. We do probate. We do it well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.